How about now? There we go. Okay, it helps to turn your microphone on. Noted. Welcome to 2026, right? Okay, so I see we have, let's see, a couple people joining live. I would love to go ahead if you are joining live. Feel free to, or please, drop your name and location in the chat. Drop your name and location in the chat. Okay, I see a couple people joining. Let's see if we can me bringing myself up. I see a couple people. Let's see. Again, just your name and location in the chat. Okay. So anyway, greetings. We are here. We are set up. We are live on LinkedIn and YouTube. If you do not know me, my name is Kelly Hernandez. I am the nonprofit marketing nerd and CEO of Nonprofit Marketing Nerds. Thank you, Luis, for letting me know. Yes, my microphone is finally on. So today we're going to talk about trends in association marketing in 2026, and specifically not just all the tech stuff. I know when we go to ASAE, right, they dump a bunch of stuff on us. This is not all of the tech stuff. These are the things that are actually going to work in terms of marketing strategy or membership growth strategy in 2026 that might be a little bit of a transition. And yes, we're going to talk about AI. And yes, we're going to talk about membership growth. And yes, we're going to talk about your tech stack a little. So if you're curious about all those things, stick around to the end. I believe let me double check. We'll be talking through 8 specific trends for 2026. But before I dive into that, I want to share or confess a little bit why I'm doing this live. We all know in the association world, there are a lot of people doing a lot of wonderful things, but what I'm seeing more and more, especially from, I'm going to name it vendors, people like me, right, is a bunch of misuse of AI. A bunch of, this is not good work. Like, yes, content's going out, but it's not good quality content, and it's not going to attract your members. It's definitely not going to help retain members, and it might actually turn people off because it feels very robotic and unauthentic. And recently, sadly, I've seen this from someone I respect a lot who runs a large company that serves associations, and it's just a bunch of like AI fluff. And if you feel it's that way, it probably is. And in the world today, in 2026, we have to do better for our members, for ourselves. I say like respective quality too. Anyway, there's my rant. I decided to do this live because I wanted to make sure that you, association professional, don't think that's great work, because it's not. So I'm going to walk through, again, 8 trends for 2026 for your association to either DIY your marketing better or DIY your own marketing better, resources for your marketing director or membership lead. Or if you want to partner with us for Fractional CMO Services, we'd love to be your partner. We currently partner with about a dozen or so associations in different capacities, but primarily for Fractional CMO, where we are the strategist and doers. If you know me, you know I've got a team of nonprofit marketing nerds behind, and we really, really, really want to see associations do better in 2026. So I am going to pull up, the first trend, and probably I would say I've been emphasizing this for a decade and people still don't do it. And we need to start thinking about our time as a resource and the ROI for our time. And I constantly hear people say, well, we don't have real pictures because we don't have time to do it. But I'm like, well, we'll see it in social media that a real picture that has a real human performs like 10 times better in the association space than a generic. So my first tip is in 2026, especially in an AI-driven world, we're going to see authenticity. And you can see from like my microphone didn't even work, but you were probably entertained. We're going to see authenticity be even more valuable than polish. I think we got into bad habits in the 2010s in the association world of making things look perfect and branded, but in terms of visuals and copy, it's just a bunch of fluff. Just a bunch of blah. So we're going to see this trend towards authenticity. This means behind the scene pictures of your staff. If you know me, I'm a huge fan of LinkedIn Live. Why? Because it works, especially if you're leaders. And just probably not dancing around the direct things impacting your members, but talking about it explicitly and taking a stand. Your association having an authentic voice, and each person in your association is going to be more valuable than ever in 2026. This is both for trust, and in an AI-powered world, like, it's a way to be disruptive is to just be real. And we're going to see this trend for associations that maybe not like for associations, but for associations that are doing great work and retaining and growing their membership. As we're seeing membership decline, those associations are most likely showing up and being authentic. Again, I see a couple other people joining. If you're joining live, hi, Luis. Thank you for letting me know. But if you're joining live, I'd love to drop your name and who you are with. And we will hop back in. Again, we're talking about association marketing trends for 2026. And these are me, Kelly Hernandez, the Nonprofit Nerds, things I want to nerd out about so that I can help you do better in your marketing in 2026. The second trend that's kind of specific, and I think for me, as a marketing strategist for associations, and our team serves associations and nonprofits, the thing that's the number one recommendation and most difficult to make happen is leadership visibility. And what I mean by this is that associations that are really, really gaining trust in their members in 2026, you're gonna see and hear from the face and voice of the CEO and probably the board president at least monthly. Quarterly, okay, but associations love to hide behind their brand and their logo. And we are in a time in the world where the primary goal of digital marketing to begin with, right, is to get people to know and care about you so you'll act. And to get people to know you and know what you're about. The easiest, lowest hanging fruit. Oh, hi, Angelica from the Yellow Collective. Thank you for the session. Absolutely. Oh, I'm looking to see I have two monitors. I'm like, oh, over here. Okay. Thank you. Welcome. So what you'll see repeatedly again and again is people want to hide behind their logos, but that's not what's working. And when you're looking at your future membership base, that's probably, I just turned 40, like people in the 30s and 40s, we want to respect and understand and trust the leaders of organizations where we're spending our money. And that's organizations and businesses. Like, we are making ethics-based decisions. And the easiest way to get someone to know and understand your association is to have the voice and face of most likely your CEO or president. My biggest recommendation is LinkedIn Lives once a month, telling a story, talking about a thing, having one call to action. That's it. Ramble on for 15 minutes. The more, again, authenticity is valuable. One of our clients actually goes live from his car after meetings. It's super unpolished, like seatbelt on, chaotic this way. You know what? His members love him, and that's some of the most engaging content. So we need to put our leaders at the forefront and start being more authentic. Okay, so this is one of the biggest kind of missteps in the association world is we love to talk about the value our association provides. But typically it's like a conference, networking opportunities, educational webinars, but it's not specific and time bound. And we're going to start to see a trend again for good associations doing great marketing of talking about the value of membership in a very tangible way, in a very specific way. And like, this is the potential member. This is maybe the specific thing the association could provide for that potential member, which is why it's useful. That's more than just a credential or certification, and more than just community and networking. But we're going to start to see more specific value propositions. I can't call out too much one of our clients, but we have a client that loves to produce educational content. And one of the things we've been playing with is who is going to attend this webinar, and how can we best develop the pain points they have that'll get them to want to attend the webinar, to truly understand what is the specific your membership profiles or membership avatars of your potential members or members you want to retain, and then talking to them in terms of specific pain points. And it's no more just we provide networking and a conference, but more specific about the pain of the person and what your association provides. Okay, so I am going to call out one of our clients. Sorry, I think she might be watching too. Sorry. But and this is maybe more of a hope and a dream in the association world than something that is actually going to happen, sadly. But we're going to see a trend to integrated tech stacks over tool sprawl. And man, the association world, you guys love your technology, but it's super fragmented. And so we're seeing a lot of tech vendors, and I'll name it that way, tech vendors show up that promise integration, but it's still kind of fragmented. Your events are over here, your membership's over here, your webinar's over here, you host your webinar here, you promote your webinar here, and don't even mention the website or the backend membership portal. Those are all separate tech, right? And in 2026, and again, this is maybe more of a hope and a dream and an ask if you're an association vendor. I hope that we are seeing more integrated technology and tools as opposed to massive chaotic tech stacks. I'll tell you on the back end, as the CEO of a marketing agency that serves associations and nonprofits, the association world is so different in the nonprofits, no matter the budget, no matter the number of stakeholders, in how fragmented the tech stack is. And it's almost like comedic. I'm like, oh, wait, there's a 27th, 28th, 29th. So my hope for us in 2026 and is that we do better, because the more tools you have that are fragmented, the more time it takes to set up things and the lack of integration. And I know that automation and integration are becoming buzzwords, especially with the use of AI. And I'm currently in the process of finalizing my certification through Harvard University in agentic AI. Anyway, it's a thing, it's a buzzword, but right now we just need to simplify. And we need to put it on our vendors to create that simplicity instead of us trying to figure out all these custom processes and automations. Life can be easier with a simplified tech stack. Okay. And I kind of talked about this a little, but in 2026, we are really going to see from the good associations that are doing great work, we are going to see more and more specific content that drives membership decisions. And I know, members come from all over the place, especially with a variety of associations. And if you're one of those associations that fortunately it's like, well, they have to get this credential, then they become a member and they never leave. Like, I'm jealous because I know opt-in associations, and I'll call it that way, people are making different decisions. And if you saw my LinkedIn article that I published on Monday, and I'll drop that down in the comments. If you saw that LinkedIn article, I talked a lot about the future of members and members in their 30s and 40s, and that most associations, and I would claim like 99% of associations should be really focused on how millennials and Gen Zers are making decisions, because it's different. And it's not just, I want to be included. Like, think about some of our professionals coming out. They were COVID professionals, right? They went to high school or college where they didn't have much social interaction, and they started to access information primarily via passive ways, via the internet and via communities that are online and social media. And so we need to meet them where they are, not only in terms of content to drive membership decisions, in terms of like providing that value to them through open source content, not behind the membership portal and crossing our fingers that people pay us money to see the value we have, because we have networking and members and people join us. Like, it no longer works. So we're going to start to see more and more content that's focused on not only just providing education, but providing more value up front to drive membership decisions. Okay. And I promised 8 tips. I see a few more people have joined live. Excited to see you. While we're jumping into trend number 6 for 2026 for association marketing, just to reintroduce myself, hi, I'm Kelly Hernandez, the nonprofit marketing nerd and CEO of Nonprofit Marketing Nerds. I love to nerd out about all things marketing, especially in the nonprofit and the association world. So I'm going to jump in to, again, this is my personal opinions, but this is probably, and I kind of mentioned it in a couple other, including the last one, a couple other trends I talked about previously, and it's because it's so important and it's such a mindset shift. One of the things that I hope we all know is doing things the way we've always done it because we've always done it that way is never the answer to why. And I'm seeing more and more content that honestly the association staff or contractors or think tanks spend a lot of time on, buried behind a member portal, and then no one ever accesses it. And you can see on the back end, I know behind your membership portal, there's some things that like maybe have like 1 or 2 clicks a year. You know it, everyone knows it. But anyway, what I hope we see and what the associations that are going to grow and attract new members in 2026 are doing is to stop gatekeeping and only providing value behind the membership wall. It almost makes it feel spammy that some associations are constantly like, oh, look at this that we have, look at this that we have, look at this. And for members, that's no longer going to be a way to attract members. It's probably going to turn people off a little bit. But you know what you should be doing is using AI as a way to those things that are valuable but are hidden behind to deliver it more into the hands in open source content for potential members, current members, future members, lapsed members. The more value you can provide and show up as a thought leader in your space and the expert on stuff about this, the more valuable it's going to be and the more members you're going to retain, attract, hopefully, grow. So a perfect example of this, I was in DC training 2 different association staffs on AI implementation in December. And I didn't know this until after. I'm like kind of the lead came out of nowhere. This happens a lot. Like twice a month, someone slides in my inbox and like, we want to hire you for an AI training. And I'm like, perfect, I'll be there. But I showed up, I did the training. And one of the key tensions for the staff was they want to keep everything is, quote, intellectual property, and it has to be behind a membership wall, and we can't even use AI to like strategize. And there are different levels, and it's a whole separate conversations about like AI policy and what that should look like. Anyway, so we had this whole conversation, and I, just kind of talked about if you want a position for thought leadership right now, people are starting to use AI as a search engine and how they access information. So if you don't have a bunch of public source content that positions you as a leader, what if someone says, where do I go to learn more information about my career? And your association doesn't even show up, right? That's a red flag. So in an AI-driven world, we need to be putting more content out there. And if we're trying to attract members that are my age and younger, we're making decisions not by the mysterious value behind the membership wall, but like actual value you've already provided that has helped us, that also gains trust. And like that's how we're making decisions. So the old school way of put everything behind the membership wall, say you can be a member and come to our conference and maybe join some of our webinars, and then you'll get this information. That's a trend of the past. And you're going to start to see for the dynamic, forward-thinking, membership-focused associations to move stuff from behind the membership wall to open source content to attract and educate the world, right, about their sector. This is really something that makes me cringe and kind of breaks my heart a little when I find all of this wonderful content that's only behind a membership wall that no one's accessing. So if you're an association and you're like, oh, this rings true, and probably for again 90% of associations it rings true, where you're like, oh yeah, we do that. We have had membership lapse, and we don't have a bunch of young members, and we put everything behind a membership portal, and we talk about our mysterious value, but we don't actually provide open source value until people pay. Start to flip the script, and you're going to start to really develop, again, a community online. Again, I see some new faces. So if you are joining live, also if you have any questions, I just finished trend number 6 of 8 on AI trends marketing trends in the association world for 2026. I'm here for any questions. If you have questions, feel free to drop it in the chat box. And once I go through trend number 8 for 2026, I am more than willing to answer whatever questions come up. So I'd love to see a few questions dropped in there. Okay, so Trend number 7, human-powered AI, not AI-powered humans. And so, I'm an AI nerd at heart. However, we are a marketing agency that uses AI as a tool, but it's still humans driving the tool. We also don't just have AI be our copywriters. We have highly skilled copywriters on our team, along with a copy editor, which I do need to say because we do serve an the ACES Association of Copy Editors. So we do value that work. And one of the ways that we're going to see a trend for, again, associations doing it the right way. And if you go back to the intro where I talked about, man, this association vendor, this person that does marketing for association is just dumping out generic M-filled, emoji-filled, blah content. And they're just pushing it out. And that's going to start to turn, it turns me off. But I think if you're an association, one, I'm scared, if that's what they're doing for their own marketing agency, what are they doing for their clients? Because that's AI ick. And so probably what's happening is they've hired some college intern. Sorry to speculate, but I'm this is what we need to do better than. We think now that we have AI, we can just have AI do all of our copywriting and do all of our writing. We need to train the AI how to be a good copywriter or copy editor. It can't just do it on its own. And I would claim for copy editing, it can't do it. It can help a little, but it's not going to be 100% or give that human perspective from a holistic side. So for associations that are doing it the right way, they're looking at intentional ways to implement AI to buy back their time without spending any money is the way I like to talk about AI, but also to be human driven, right? Human driven with AI as a tool, a partner, a thought leader. Do I think it's okay or do I think it's a good idea for you to have an AI copywriter? Yes, but you just need to train it. So I say garbage in, garbage out, gold in, gold out. There is a way and a process for developing out that AI bot that can do copywriting with you, but it still needs to be someone that understands what is good copywriting, collaborating with the AI and filtering it. This is a huge misstep in the AI world. Like I told you, there's a marketing agency floating around doing it right now, serving associations, and it gives me so much ick. And if you are their client, it makes me cringe, and I'm sorry to out them, but it's super ick. But there is a way to use AI efficiently and effectively, even in marketing, especially in marketing. But the worst thing you can do, and this is why human-powered AI is important, the worst thing you can do is say, oh, we don't need a marketing person anymore. We're just going to have AI. We're going to have ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude or Copilot or Manus, like your favorite, whatever your favorite AI is, chatbot. We're just going to have them do all of our marketing. They can draft our emails. They can draft this long form white paper. And you're going to start to see factual inaccuracy, copy issues, and content issues. So don't do that. I'm sorry, don't do that. But being human focused and human centered with AI as a partner, a tool, the marketing assistant. Again, if you see me, I've been doing a lot of trainings at associations on how to DIY your marketing using AI. I do believe you can and should, but there's a way to go about it that's human focused first, and probably need someone that knows what good marketing is, driving that AI powered whatever. And then finally, one of my favorite things about AI, honestly, and again, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in. One of my favorite things about AI is it's a way to buy back your time without spending any money. And this is a great, it used to be the case, even from the marketing side of things, if we were prepping for a board meeting, I would maybe spend, probably myself and my marketing coordinator would maybe spend I'd spend 4 hours, they'd spend 3 hours, and then we'd have almost a full day running a report that now with the use of AI, you can get in 10 seconds. So we're going to start to see with that buying back our time without spending any money that we now have more time to do direct communication. I recently had a question from an association professional that's in the membership space about, should we be doing blasted emails, email blasts for sponsorship? I'm like, you know what works the best for sponsorship? You personally emailing or calling someone and asking them to be a sponsor. And especially in an automated AI-driven world, we're going to see more direct communication over broadcast be more important than ever. It's, maybe instead of blasting everyone, you're literally typing a personal email. So that's a trend. I hope it's one of the positives of AI, right? Is that as we're using AI to buy back our time without spending any money, that we have that more time to be more human, to write those handwritten thank you cards, to write the congratulations on the award. These are the things that in 2026, for associations that are effectively using AI, we now probably have 50% of our time back to have direct communication and to be even more human. Because in the association world, and it's something that we often forget, we love to be, I sometimes joke with people that are not association people, like, association staff, they're like professionals. But we love to hide behind our logo, hide behind our branding, and kind of do what we've always done because we've always done it. Like, it's just, for a lot of associations, like, we get it. Like, it's like, how do we survive? Oh yeah, we just do, this is our project plan, we do it. But I do think that with the use of effective AI, we can spend 25% of our time now being strategic instead of working in the operations, and another 25% of the time doing those personal, direct communication, needle moving things that we could have, should have had time to do in 2020 before the use of AI. Anyway, there is my crazy ramble about the 8 trends I see in the association world as we walk into 2026. Thank you everyone who joined. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them here. I'll stay on for another 30 seconds or so. But yeah, yeah. So if you are an association and anything that I said rings true, I'd love to hop on a call. Feel free to shoot me a message. I'm a real human. You see me right here. I'm being authentic. My audio didn't work at the beginning. So yeah, we can get through 2026 together. And I am always eager to chat and nerd out about association marketing. Have a great day.